don't know what that thing is down there. We're going down there. This is where he departs.
Okay. See you later, guys. Have fun. Good luck.
Hopefully.
If you need me, give me a ring.
Will do. Good luck.
Sounds good.
See you later, buddy.
Have fun.
Yeah, love it.
Have fun.
Good luck.
See you, buddy.
Shoot him dead.
Yep, that's the plan.
And there goes a legend. Just out for a stroll.
Okay. We had a late night last night, and been pretty tired. I think it's day 5 now, and I have not really hunted. I've just been with the boys, and I love them so much, and I want to be with them, do things with them. We've been having a good time, but we're also very, very tired. Staying up late doing stuff with the computer, and walking 6, 7, 8, 10, sometimes more miles a day, and messing around. It's a lot. I'm gonna hunt a little bit today for me. There was quite a few deer in here last year, and one really nice one, so I'm gonna do a little sniffing around. Just gonna hunt nice and slow and careful. I'm pretty sure that all the deer are gonna be on their feet, especially the bigger, older bucks are gonna be cruising and walking. So the zombie walking should be started anytime now. Weather coming next week, things should improve some. I'm not in a hurry, but I'll take a good one no matter how it comes. We did see a small buck yesterday, and couldn't get him on film, but nothing we're interested in. Didn't even pay attention. But things should be happening. Congratulations to everybody who's been getting deer. Really some nice ones. Timmy Bulldogs. Oh, that's a beautiful buck. A lot of you guys been getting some nice deer, so things are looking good. And we'll go out and apply ourselves a little bit and see what happens. I'm going to do my best to get it on film. I want to get at least the deer on film. I don't care so much about me shooting it, but I want to get a nice big buck on film. So that's the next move. And we'll see what happens. Love to see you guys commenting and stuff. It's so nice. It's refreshing to hear how much everybody appreciates what we do, and anybody who doesn't, well, that's life. It's okay, and we'll see what happens. So, Gun's excited, I'm excited, and let's go find that old boy. Maybe we can line up with him. I normally don't go after some of the deer where I know where they are. I don't mess with them till it's time, but today feels good, so we'll go make it, see what happens. Just kind of work our way through the woods and do some real sniffing and see how it goes. Good luck to everybody today. Hope you guys have good luck, and I'm sure it will be. Feels good. Today feels good. We'll see.
Well, you getting out here, Beeb?
Yep.
All right, Beeb.
Bye, Beeb.
See you, Beeb.
Have a good day.
Boys just dropped me off. Dad's down the road behind me. You leaving yet? I've never been in this area. It's kind of swale grass cut, swampy, yucky. But in my experience, that's where all the deer are, where no one else wants to be. So you got to go where they want to be, not where you want to be. Take my time and just kind of turn some dirt because I don't have any snow to kind of work with. There is some mud out here. I'm going to scan this stuff over and see if there's any deer sign. But saw some moose yesterday. Saw a pine marten, which was really cool. I haven't seen one of those in a long time. And it was looked like a big male, big healthy guy. So yeah, let's go for a walk.
I'll see you later, buddy. We'll just go take a little investigation. Probably won't be nothing kicking, but you never know. It's worth a look. Having the window down, closing the door ain't real definitive, is it? Run over that log, will you?
If it stops raining, I might go for a walk.
Okay. See ya.
All right.
See the wind blow through this spot. Now it's pretty much going this way. And you know it comes over the top and it swirls in these holes. Here's some of my thoughts on the wind. In a cornfield or in some place with all these spruce sticking up, right? And the wind comes through that. It's so unpredictable and it could go any which way. And it's almost like smoke, right? It just kind of pours out and goes all over the place. So your scent is doing the same thing. Now I don't worry about it too much unless it's really blowing where I think the deer might be and it's ruining things for me before I get there. Now we talked about this in the master class quite a bit, right? Where if you're going with the wind, whether you're tracking or still hunting, no matter what it is, the slower you go, the more your scent gets ahead of you and it just screws everything up. So when I'm going crosswind or slightly downwind or directly downwind, I'm conscious of which way the wind's blowing. And when it turns and goes right down where I think something might be, I want to not go too slow because it'll just make sure that everything's spoiled before I can see it. So I go a little quicker when I'm going downwind. It only makes sense. I'm sure Rick and all them other guys, Joe Donito, right? Same kind of thing. They're paying attention. Everyone should pay attention to how that wind blows and expect it to do certain things in certain places. And at some point, you just can't worry about it too much. And the important thing is to see what you want to see. And if you give it plenty of time to drift all over and screw everything up, then you're screwed anyway. But I don't know how many times I had something directly downwind and it didn't smell me. So like there's an unpredictability, like half the time you're screwed, half the time you're not. So like at some point, like just don't worry about it too much. Keep it to a minimum, but you just gotta go. And you just gotta be out there and you just gotta give it a whirl. And sometimes it'll work and sometimes it won't. Like it's a roll of the dice. And I don't think you can not smell like a person. A deer is gonna nail you. A drug dog smells some drugs in a warehouse on shelf number 20 in aisle number 40 on the, inside of 3 Tupperware containers. The drug dog finds it. So like you can't fool a deer's nose. You're never not going to smell like a person. So just do your thing the best you can and don't worry about it. I don't freak out about it. And when it's calm and everything's quiet, go a little slower. When it's windy and blowing right ahead of you, move it a little faster. If the wind's perfect and it's blowing, the right direction for you, now you can take your time and it's not a big deal and you can go as slow as you need to. So I'm always conscious of which way it's blowing. That seems to be the most important thing to do, is to be conscious of what it's doing. And then there's no surprises. So far this year, all the deer have been in the brown grass. Keith's deer was out in the grass. Some of the does were out in the grass that we filmed yesterday. There's a lot of beds in the grass, and they seem to be around grass. Taylor jumped a deer, little buck yesterday in the grass. So like any of the brown grass, that seems to be where they are right now. We only had one buck yesterday that was way up high in the spruces on the mountain. The rest of them have all been lower. They've all been down in the grass. You guys tell me. That's the way it's been for us for the last week or so. And nearly everybody who's been shooting deer for the last week or so have been shooting them around buck sign. If there's any kind of sign, like I've said during the master class, if there's any kind of sign, you want to hunt the sign. Wherever there's rubs, scrapes, good tracks, and it's the first week in November, that's where you hunt. Most of the time the buck hasn't gone that far until that zombie walking starts in, which should be in the next few days. And especially if the weather is unsettled, which we've got a little wind, got a little rain. It's in between moon stages. They'll be on their feet and moving a little bit more. And I would say for the next night or two, it's definitely going to be in the evenings is like max time to move. A little bit in the mornings, a little bit maybe midday, but most of the deer movement is going to be in the evenings. Probably from 4 on or 3 o'clock on. You can feel it. The evenings are so nice. When it feels like you should be on your feet and going, that's what the deer are doing. Another one of the best times to still hunt is when the deer are on their feet. You got a better chance of hearing them. You got a better chance of seeing them because they're not stationary. When they're on their feet and they're moving, they could very well be coming at you, going across from you. And I like to still hunt when I think the deer are on their feet. But I also hunt when I think they're bedded, and I can go in and disturb them from their bedding areas and get them on their feet because I'm in big woods. If you have just one little lot back home and all you have is a small area to hunt and you can't afford to disturb the deer, that's different. But where I am, in this big giant chunk of woods, I haven't done any scouting aside from what I hunted last year. I don't have any cameras. I'm just winging it. And I don't even know if the buck is still alive or not. But I go back to those same areas and look. And if I'm going to be still hunting, I'm going to be hunting where I'm going to run into the most deer, which will be, especially bucks, will be around buck sign, because the rut really hasn't started yet. They will be checking and looking and poking around, and they'll be active around their sign a little bit. Other bucks will come and sniff what another buck did. So as that circulation gets going, and then they're on their feet all day long, you're going to have even better chance of seeing something. When they're just laying there and it's quiet and you come sneaking along, they'll get you. But if they're on their feet, they're feeding, they're laying down sign, they're walking, you got a better chance. And if you're in an area with lots of paths, where there's lots of deer runways and activity, and you just happen to be strolling and taking your time, doing the best you can with the wind, and working those runway areas, working those scrape areas, working where the doe feeding trails to get from feed back to bedding, you're working those spots where lots of deer go, you're more likely to run into a buck that way. So you got a better chance. And I love to still hunt when I think the deer are on their feet. And a little rain here will help quiet it down just a little bit. Now that is a double-edged sword, because it'll make me quieter, but it'll make them quieter too. And the eyes and the ears will play a bigger role. If you step on a stick, they'll get you. If they step on a stick, you'll get them. So sometimes that's all you need, is just one little click to get your attention. You start looking over there, and next thing you know, you see a little bit of movement, and then you can figure out and not move when you shouldn't and stuff like that. So keep that in mind, and keep your chin up all the time, eyes level and big and looking everywhere all the time. A little bit of movement, something that looks odd, just do a nice quick scan and then a little more thorough scan, 3-4 steps, and do it again. Every time you come over a rise, every time you come around a corner, easy and careful. You could very well just see a little flicker of a tail and say, oh, there's a deer. That's all it takes.
Oh, I don't know what that thing is down there. What is that? We're going down there. Whatever it was right over there. I see it. There it is. Is that a fisher? That thing is huge. Let's get closer. That's a fisher. Thought I was going crazy there for a minute. You know what I'm saying? They're so fast too. He went that way and then was down there in 2 seconds. I probably won't see him again. Hey, if I do, I'll bring it back.
Here's another thing to consider when you're still hunting, is the cadence. How you walk and how often you stop, the pace and the distance you go in between stops all those things will matter, and they'll vary from place to place, and even with the timing of the weather and all that kind of stuff. It'll vary with how quiet the woods are too. Everything has a different cadence to it. It has a cadence to its movement, and it has a cadence to its attention. You watch like Taylor's moose, that calf feeding. Her attention, you can watch her eyes and understand when she's got her big radar on and when she's thinking about the stick, right? She reaches for that stick and then slows down and looks around while she's chewing and then goes back. There should be a cadence to your attention as well. And every person, every animal has this, where their radar is big and they're just looking around. That big buck zombie walking, when he's walking along, he's still paying attention, but because his radar is wide and he's trying to cover a lot, but he's also doing what he's doing, that gives the little tiny movement on the side plenty of possibility, and he probably won't notice it. If that deer is drilled right in and lasering right on you, right, it'll be the same thing with your cadence as you walk, making your attention wide and focusing it where it needs to be and where it feels like it should be as you walk. Where does it feel like I'm going to have trouble or something like that? And the little things that come along. I'm still hunting and suddenly there's a noise and the squirrel starts chattering because there's something going on. Those things will happen as well. So your focus will come and go. By the end of the day, if you've been doing it a lot, your focus will be more to the ground and where you are and where you're stepping. And your big radar might not notice the deer over here. So it takes a lot of attention and quite a bit of work to be on radar all day long while you still hunt. So as soon as you feel your radar dying a little bit, take a break. Don't keep trucking, just stop for a little while. Just relax and let your guard down a little bit and go ahead and do your thing. Now, one of the things about my movement as I walk through the woods is I do my best to pay attention where I really should. Corners, humps, you name it, or where it feels like I should pay attention. And I also love to stop. Most people love to walk. They feel like they're getting to somewhere and they feel like they're getting near, closer to what could be what their goal is, the deer. If you get too lasered on getting there, you'll miss when that moment comes of, oh, here he is right here, or you'll miss seeing him in the brush. So take your time and notice your own radar and how well it's working. As soon as it doesn't work good, take a break. Ease up from it a little bit. And when you've regathered yourself, had a little something to eat, take a drink of water, whatever, and just relax, rest your legs a little bit, and then when you feel good, put your game face back on and start right in, right? Game face will make you 30% better when you're just in the mood to make that really good shot with the basketball, the throw of the bean bag, right? The throw of the horseshoe. You put your game face on, it makes you better. You'll have to redo that a little bit as you're still hunting, and it'll make you quite a bit better. And some places will allow you to slip along nice and quiet. It's real thick. Odds are good you're not going to run into something right there. Even if you did, you couldn't shoot it. Now we can move along a little quick, quiet, right? And then as soon as you're about to bust out, go easy and ease out. Even if you made a little bit of noise, but you ease down real slow, you won't scare what's in the open. You know, just watch yourself walk through things and coach yourself through it, and it'll help like crazy. One other little tip. Whenever I'm walking, I'm doing my best to have shooting lanes or sighting lanes. I don't know how many times I was walking through the woods and there was a big buck right there, and I'm walking through the woods and he spots me and he's watching me and he's nervous about me and he sees little pieces of me and he's starting to freak just a little bit and he blows at me, or he jumps a couple of times, boom, boom, and stops, right? The tail just comes up and then goes back down. They give you a signal of some kind that they're there. If I've got a shooting lane in that direction, Now at least I've got something. So if he goes across it, or he jumps through it, or he comes into it, and now I could do something about it. I don't know how many good sized ones blew at me first. They let me know they were there, I was there, and then they made a movement, and I was able to see them and do something about it. Run to a new spot where now I could get a shot. Right? Keep that in mind all the time, that you could have something happen at any second, and keeping those shooting lanes and keeping where you're walking good for you, but still in a deer area, right? Still near something. The other thing is, like, whenever I'm stopping, I'll walk along and stop. Whenever I stop, photography has taught me this. Whenever I'm stopping, stop next to an object. Then if all of a sudden that moose turns and comes straight at you, you can step behind the tree a little bit and it'll hide you. You won't move much. I can even get away with like digging out my camera when I'm right behind a tree. Keeping something near you when you stop is always a good idea. Get some cover. And I try and walk near the edges of things so I could just duck into the edge if I needed to. Have fun.
You're probably gonna run any minute. There he goes. Cute little guy. I can't really see much, so I'm gonna have to just hope I bump it and maybe get a chance, but we'll see. Visibility is pretty low in here. We'll do what we can.
Saw it moves anyway. Got some good film. Not real good, but standing up, just eating. She wasn't bedded, so that was not what I wanted to come over the hill and see, but we'll take it. These are nice woods. Need a little green in them, but pretty rare to just be able to walk and see without getting your clothes ripped apart.
Now there's something to be said about walking along steady. Just like a car going down the road, when they're driving medium, slow, and they just keep rolling. You'll stand there and look. The deer will stand there and look. If you walk along that way, that may work really well. If you do that and call a little bit, that may work really well. Make sure you're wearing your orange. Scare the dickens out of somebody. But as soon as you take off or as soon as you stop, that's when everything runs. So as you're going along nice and steady, especially on a buck that you've jumped and you're tracking them and you continue to jump them and stuff, just coming along steady all the time. They'll stand there and watch quite a bit sometimes, and that may gain you a few seconds. The other thing is, if you're sneaking too much, it gives them too much time to think about it, too much time to watch you, too many little confirmations, and you never see them. So sometimes going too slow isn't good either. And of course you're trying to balance the speed with how well you can look the terrain over. And if you can't look the terrain over and see deer and you just keep jumping them and you don't see them ever, then you got to slow down. But if you go too slow, that can be trouble too. So it's like one of those practice kind of things. But sometimes being steady and just jump, 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 keep coming, they'll stand there and let you get fairly close, especially the first time you meet them. And sometimes that's worth a try too. Anyway, we'll keep poking along. Ain't seen nothing yet, not even a bird, but beautiful woods.
Coming down through the moose woods here. Kind of all these like grass strip cuts with like soft cover. And I see a lot of like the, of course I don't have them right here, but all the balsams are really chewed and are really eaten down a lot, which makes me think that they're wintering here. And I look on the ground, and wouldn't you know, that is an interesting one. That is cool. Oh yeah. Kind of a cool one. Really wacky points. Yeah, that thing's sweet. I think I'm gonna keep it. Yeah, why not? I can always throw it back in the woods if I don't want it later. You know. Oh y'all, rain's back. It's getting late. I gotta start heading down and find out where the guys are and where my vehicle is, because I have no idea where my ride is. I don't know where my hunting buddies are. I don't know really where I am, so we got a place to be, and it's raining and gonna get dark soon, so let's get going.
Well, weather is taking a turn for the worst. Some clouds and rain have really pulled in. I'm blasting through a wall of junk. So, time to get going. Thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Happy hunt.
How you doing, Puff? I think I might have water in my lens. Not good.
How far you lug that?
Mile, maybe. Not bad. Anyway, hold on. Cocoa Puff, me, Cocoa Puff. We're gonna catch up. You guys already know what happened to both of us, so you don't need to be part of this repeat session. But and then we're gonna go figure out what happened to the other two.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Rodney,
How about you now, boys? Is that a little better? It's a process to get these boys rounded back up at the end of the day. The beaver. Hello there.
that radio don't work very good, does it?
No, it's junk.
Good and wet beef? Dude, I'm so soaked.
I'm good and soaked.
Okay, let's go get your
I went
dad.
up your path, saw a deer.
Rodney Elmer. Hunting legend. Does everything look like it's working, Dad? Welcome to Backwoods Mechanic. All your signals are working. Rodney Elmer, how you doing?
Good Lord.
All right, guys. Now that we have acquired the crew, and it is time to go get dried out. Oh man. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hit that like button if you like this video. Subscribe if you haven't already. And we'll see you later, right, Beef?
Bye-bye from the potato fields.
There's a lot of rocks in Maine. All right, guys. See you tomorrow for day 6. Bye.